All right, welcome back to KSO News. I'm Carly Willis, and I'm here with the director of the Washburn University Leadership Institute, Dr. Michael Gleason. Thank you for being here, Dr. Gleason.
Sure.
So what can you tell me about the Leadership Institute here at Washburn?
So at the essence, the Leadership Institute is an academic unit. We provide students educational opportunities to attain a Leadership Studies certificate or a Leadership Studies minor. In addition to the curricular programs that we run, we also have a lot of co-curricular programs that are a part of what we do because we think that leadership development happens not only in the classroom, but outside of the classroom as well. So we have a Student Leadership Council, which is a student organization. And that Student Leadership Council does all sorts of things. We have a communications division, a community outreach division, and we also have a programming division. So things from running programs for high schools to running our Leadership Challenge event to volunteering at different events across campus. So lots of different opportunities for students to learn about themselves and how they can be most successful as leaders, both during their time here at Washburn, but also once they graduate in their communities, their families, and their jobs.
Sure, wonderful. Who can earn a Leadership Studies minor or a certificate?
Really, any undergraduate student can earn a Leadership Studies certificate or a minor. Our Leadership Studies certificate is only 4 core classes, and what I like to tell students is that the first 2 classes both meet general education requirements. So our LE 100 class meets social sciences, and our 200, our ethics class, meets humanities and arts general education credit. And then our Leadership minor has students take 2 elective classes in addition to the certificate classes, so 6 classes total.
Okay, and so how would a student learn more about how to earn the minor or the certificate?
Sure. So last year we started having what we call a Leadership Studies Certificate Minor in Orientation. And so on October 21st and October 22nd, we're going to have 2 1/2-hour sessions where students can come to the union. If they contact our office, we can give them the exact room from 12 to 12:30, and then on the 22nd from 11:30 to 12. And we'll talk with them more about their academic program and how the Leadership Studies Certificate or minor can fit into that program. So I would just encourage them. We're in Benton, room 408, and so they can come find us to learn more information or just email leadership@washburn.edu.
Okay, wonderful. If you're just now joining us, I'm Carly Willis here with Dr. Michael Gleason, the director of the Washburn University Leadership Institute. So you mentioned the extracurricular side being the Student Leadership Council. What goes on with that?
So really, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, the students have all sorts of opportunities to get involved. One of the things that we recognized is that it's really important for, since leadership is really pervasive, that students have the opportunity to contribute in a way that's meaningful to them. So for example, our communications team really works in promoting our programs in terms of social media, in terms of marketing materials, all of those sorts of things. Our community outreach team works to raise the funds that we need to run our Leadership Challenge event. They work to do volunteer experiences in the community. They work to help create some leadership labs. So we go into organizations in the community and observe leadership in those contexts. And then finally, our programming team works to get involved with the high schools and the elementary schools. They also run our programs like homecoming, socials. We have an orientation every semester. And so students have lots of different opportunities to get involved. And something that we're doing this year is that every month we're going to have a meeting for any student who's interested in getting involved in that particular part of our program, the co-curricular program. And so our next meeting will be on Thursday, October 30th at 8 p.m. in the Blair Seminar Room of the Living Learning Center. So I'd really encourage any student who's interested to come and to learn more about the teams and how they can get involved.
Sure. So it sounds like there's really something for everybody.
Sure.
What can you tell me, what kind of leadership labs have been going on recently where the students can observe leadership in the community?
Sure. So a couple of weeks ago, we went to Forbes Field, and the students got to learn from the folks who work there what leadership looks like in the military, which is just a really interesting culture. I know you know that from some of your past experiences. So the students got to learn more about how communication works in that setting, and they got to observe the Black Hawk unit, see one take off. And so that was our first. We'll be going to Hutchinson Correctional Facility at the end of October. And so students get to observe some of the folks who work in that particular facility, but then also get to have lunch with the inmates and learn more about what leadership looks like in that setting.
Sure. And the Leadership Challenge event is something that a lot of people have heard about, but what is it in a nutshell for here at Washburn?
Sure. So one of the coolest things that we do, sort of our pillar program, program is the Leadership Challenge event. And it's a program that's completely student-run by our Washburn students. This year it will be April 9th and 10th. And what they will do is they will create a 2-day immersion experience. So the first day is really more of the typical conference feel. But then the second day, the students who participate in the program from off of campus will basically be challenged with some sort of leadership experience. So last year, to give you an example, these students were faced with a flash flood, and they were in the roles of community members, and they basically had to face some of the challenges associated with that. So maybe you have an upset store owner who their area wasn't as evacuated as quickly as they would like. And so in teams of 5, they have to practice effective communication, effective collaboration, and they're evaluated throughout the day. And we declare winners at the end of the day in both our high school and college division.
Okay.
And then the students are awarded based on that. And so last year we had 28 teams of 5 who participated. This coming year we're hoping for 30 teams of 5. And so our students from Washburn are responsible for raising the funds that we need for that, getting the 150 volunteers we need, helping to get the teams from the different high schools and colleges that we need, all of those sorts of things that go into that. So when the students are done participating in that event, they can put on their resume that they ran an absolutely huge event that helped others learn about leadership.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Gleason.
Yeah.
We'll be back after this with Kara to tell you about some movies that are hitting the box office this weekend.